The city was a skeleton, its bones of steel and concrete picked clean by fire and time. Dust settled like a shroud over everything. Amidst the ruins, Kyle stared down at his own hands. The tremors a betraying flutter against the stillness of the dead streets. They were his hands, but lately they didn't feel like they belonged to him anymore. Each twitch, each involuntary clench was a string being pulled by a master he couldn't see but could always feel. A cold presence coiling in the back of his mind. He was a weapon, honed and aimed, but the hand that held him was his own. He caught his reflection in the jagged shard of a skyscraper's window, and the argument began anew. "This isn't you," Kale whispered, his voice raw. The face staring back wasn't just his, it was a distorted, sneering echo. The greater one, a parasitic will wearing his features, smirked. Its eyes, unlike his own haunted gray, pulsed with a malevolent golden light, the sigil of the power that had been gifted, or perhaps cursed, upon him. "It is what we were meant to be," the reflection hissed, its voice a venomous static in his head. "Dominance is our birthright. Why do you hesitate?" He remembered the moments of choice, a survivor begging for mercy, a rival faction pleading for a truce. In each he had paused, the power inside him screaming for him to crush them, to assert his place at the top of this broken world, yet some stubborn piece of the man he once was held back. The internal war reached its peak. The glowing eyes in the glass taunted him, showing him visions of a throne built from the rubble, of a world kneeling at his feet. The power surged, a familiar and seductive tide promising an end to all conflict through absolute control. He could be a king, a god in this wasteland, but the cost was his soul, the last remnant of the man who knew compassion. With a guttural roar that was entirely his own, Kale clenched his fist. The glass didn't just break, it exploded outwards, the shards scattering like fallen stars. The glowing-eyed visage shattered with it, the parasitic light extinguishing into nothingness. The choice was made. He turned from the gilded, empty throne that had been his promised destiny, the symbol of the power he now rejected. The ruins stretched before him, a daunting landscape of despair, but he would face them on his own terms. As he walked away, his back straight and his purpose firm, his eyes were clear for the first time in years. They were no longer haunted, no longer glowing with borrowed might, but were resolute, reflecting only the man who had chosen to reclaim his will, even if it meant walking through hell alone.